if we look in the past year, the struggles around the world, I mean, if we really look and analyze what has happened, if we look at Italy and the thousands of youth who poured in the streets in response to austerity that is being forced on the people of Italy, and what they were able to pull off, occupying schools and campuses throughout the country, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I mean, I'm still like floored by the fact that this symbol, you know, this iconic symbol was occupied by the students and they didn't revere it. You know, they were fighting against austerity, so the hell with it. Such an important event. But not only that, but Greece, which is over the past couple of years, it had uprising after uprising of tens of thousands of people and have had called general strikes. Puerto Rico, the students who shut down the UPR campus and have continued to be on strike ever since December, and in the wake of state repression have not been beaten back by that, but have continued to fight back against austerity being imposed on them, and also fighting for independence from the U.S. Around the world, in Bangladesh, the students shut down the university system in Chittagong. And the Philippines, they had a one-day work stoppage of thousands of people in the Philippines. Germany, the Netherlands, tens of thousands of students took to the streets in the Netherlands. London, the union movement wrote a letter to the student movement and calling out the rest of the union movement to support the students in response to what the students did. I mean, they tried to burn down a conservative Tory building in response to tripling of tuition fees in the university system. We're not going to see an end to this. This is just the beginning. I truly believe that this is just the beginning around the world, and that what is happening in Egypt and Tunisia is going to fan the flames even more, because more people are thinking, how can we be like the Egyptians? Because they are leaving it all in the streets, and that's what we need to do, is leave it all in the streets. And in the face of the state repression, I mean, we saw the camels and the horses riding there, people with whips and swords, and then them getting torn off of those horses and camels and having their asses kicked and being arrested by committees of people and held. That is, I mean, it gives, like, you think of the Paris Commune setting up popular committees. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. And actually, I'm growing even more giddy while I'm up here talking, because I was thoroughly depressed before I got up here. But, you know, not only is it going to grow there, and we don't know exactly where it's going to go. It's a democratic revolution at this point. And we can't speculate. It is what it is, and it is not going back. I mean, you can't undo history that has been created. It's already been done, and it's going to play itself out in Egypt, and it's going to play itself out in the world. And the U.S. is afraid of that. They are so deathly afraid of that, because what happens with Israel now? How the Palestinians respond? What happens when that border crossing is opened in Palestine? What happens in Saudi Arabia now? What happens throughout the world? What happens here in the U.S. in response to austerity? When the people are looking at what is happening in Egypt, and black people who are facing genocidal unemployment. You walk through Jersey City and I see more people without jobs than have jobs. And what it does to the black psyche. And you put it in a historical context. They are looking at Egypt today. And as these budgets are talked about, as they try and force austerity around the country, there is going to be a response this spring. And it will be different than a response last year. It'll be more militant, because at this point, what else do we have? What else can we do but leave it out in the streets? And history can't judge us by the actions that we take. Although the ruling class, I mean, if history really is going to judge us by the fact that we have waited so long to take action. The fact that we've been patient as we have been. The fact that the cities haven't been burnt to a cinder. It's amazing that it hasn't happened. But it will happen. And we should look to Egypt. We should talk to Egypt everywhere we go. We should incorporate it in our language when we talk about austerity. When we say, look at what they're trying to pass here in New York, the budget. What is the answer for it? Look to Egypt. That is the answer. Look to Tunisia. They have a pretty good goddamn idea of what you should do when the government wants to force the crisis on your backs.